Well, welcome back to Unruly Guide Step-by-Step tutorial for the Ebook Formatting Kit 3.0. In this video, I'm just going to show you how you easily rename pages, set your semantics, and set the start page. Now, the start page is what the readers will see when they first open your book. But let's start with how to rename the pages. First of all, be very careful when you name your pages or whatever you choose for your names. Keep them simple, all lowercase. Don't use capital letters, underscores, hyphens, anything. You want to keep it very simple. One of the biggest errors that clients or customers have had is naming one of their pages with a space in it, like how you would type it as a novelist. A capital C, chapter, space 1. Now this is the text, but this is also how it looks when it is in the code view. This %20 is the same as this little space. So you notice that if you named your chapter page actually chapter 1, it wouldn't know what it's looking for. So it's always better just to keep everything all lowercase, and we'll talk about that later. So now I've split out most of the pages for you. But let's say you don't want to call this the author page. Maybe you just want to call it about. So what we're going to do is, if you want to rename any pages, especially when you split out a page, it is usually given some kind of an odd thing like section 0001. You will highlight the page you want to rename, you right click, and you just go to rename. Now it highlights the actual word. You want to leave that dot or the period XHTML. Don't delete that. You just want to retype whatever you want to name this. And so we'll name this about. So now we have an about for about the author. So now what we want to do is we want to set the semantics. Now I believe I've done this for you already in your template, but if you ever add new pages or decide to change things, then you'll need to know how to do this. What you do is select a page, you right click and go to add semantics. See, I've already selected cover for this, so that one is set. Copyright page, you right click, go to semantics, and you scroll down until you get to copyright. And the same with the table of contents. You need to have especially the table of contents set in the semantics. And I have it set there. Otherwise, it will not completely validate. It will say that the table of contents is missing. Content, usually you start that. You can set that as text, or you don't even have to set it at all. The reason this is set as text is because that's my start page. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Acknowledgements, we go to semantics. There's acknowledgements. Now you don't have to set them all. Like I said, the cover page you have to set, the table of contents you have to set, and then we have to set the text. I would set text for wherever you want your start page. Your start page will automatically usually start the page after your table of contents, but you can force it to something else. The About Us page, I'm not sure if there really is one about, and there is not. So you just leave that alone. So now we're going to go to content, and I'm going to show you how you can make your start page. What you would do is you would select the ID for wherever you want it to start, which would be chapter 1, and you would just change this identification to start. Now the IDs are very important in the table of contents. You can see here that I have the ID start also listed here with my content page. But where it's located here in the ID is what's important. Now each one of these heading tags has got an ID, and you also have to set that. So let's say you wanted it to start on this chapter, so you would change that ID to start. Now I want you to set the IDs for all your other chapters and keep it very simple, because this is what we're going to be using in the table of contents, which is in the next section. So think about things like CH1, CH2, and then as you go through and rename those, now we'll go and do the table of contents, the linkable one, in the next video.